and welcome back to part 4 of my Let's Play of Broken Sword 5. So last episode we were basically trying to get back into the art gallery as Nico, and now we need to find a distraction so that George can get into the office. So without further ado, let's see what we can do.
Josh,
Yeah, Nico.
so why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So, what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, Josh. Somehow, I had to get the inspector away from the office door. Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet, and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide, nothing more.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them. Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Yeah, point-and-click adventures have always had some weird animations going on, where you would sort of like talk, and then they would play an animation, or they would play a massive animation before the person would actually talk to you. We're seeing quite a lot of that in this scene.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence, or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. That wouldn't have worked.
Okay, so I'm guessing we need to somehow spread this out,
No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands.
make it look like blood.
I spread some
We
of
could
the
just do
sauce
that.
around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gum.
Okay, so she won't pick up the gun with her bare
The
hands.
stain was a real mess.
Another thing that point-and-click adventures like to do is any real-life person would just pick
No
this
way
up.
was I
Right.
going to clean that up with my bare hands.
But point-and-click adventures don't do that. So we're going to have to find, normally be a piece of paper or something like that to get rid of this.
I'd never met the gallery owner before, but he sure didn't deserve this. Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Maledictio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the Serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So, what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
What do you know about Henri?
An innocent victim, insofar as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what other sins he was hiding.
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. What do you think about that stain?
Is that blood?
I think it's just sauce. I wonder if there's a mop anywhere.
We are facing death and divine retribution. This is no time for tidying up.
Father Simeon wasn't making much sense. What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque and evil.
How can a painting be evil?
By killing all who come into contact with it.
Does that mean we're next?
Laugh not at the devil's play, Miss Collard.
This is my press card. I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. Drawing attention to myself would be a bad idea. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collard, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then, my favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Maledictio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
Father Simeon says that the painting is evil.
The priest is a lunatic. La Maledicción is a painting, and a painting cannot be evil.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Oh, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane.
Alright, so if I remember
The
earlier,
bust was striking.
bust was positioned precariously, but apparently that does nothing. So we've talked to everyone. All we need, like I say, is some sort of piece of paper. I'll see if the press card will work for this before I do anything else.
That wouldn't happen.
Nope.
I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. The tomato sauce looked as close to...
Okay,
I'd
so it
made
looks
a
like we have
convincing
our
bloodstain. But was it art?
it looks like we have our distraction. So let's speak to the inspector again.
Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges. That should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I
Okay.
was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick because it wouldn't take him long.
Okay, so we're finally inside the office. Looks like there's lots of stuff to click on in here. So we'll check out the CCTV first, because that's actually what we came in for.
The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording.
So I'm going to try the one that we had inside the alarm system earlier, which I thought was the office door. I wrote it down on a nice piece of paper here. So we've got 1212. And it's not that one either, so
Nope.
that number inside the alarm was probably there just to annoy me. Oh, didn't want to do that. How do I... Ah, there we go.
I needed to find a 4-digit number.
Okay, so
It
let's
was a
have look
pretty
around.
flamboyant-looking clock. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form.
Okay, so very possibly we're going to have to ring the security company and find out what the security number was for the CCTV system. We're going to finish looking around first, and then we'll end the episode and we'll ring them on the next one.
The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri sure liked his clutter. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. I had no... The frame containing pressed flowers. Henri sure had his quirks.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what's happening with the volume there, but we've searched everything in the room. We've got a lead on how to get into the CCTV system. So we're going to call it there for today. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in part 5.